Hi everyone, my name is Audacious. I'm an economics and finance major. I love and I'm super passionate about economics and finance, and I absolutely enjoy passing on my passion and my knowledge to students. And for me, nothing is more rewarding than when a student understands, can see, can perceive how out there, how real economics is. How are you guys all doing? So this is an outline of how all of the lessons in this Ecos course will be given out. So this is our 4-point approach. The first thing we'll look at is a definition of the topic we're looking at, just to make you understand what it is that's going on. The second thing, and super important, is perspective. So there's no point just going through all the theory for your economics. You need to know how relevant it is, how it applies, because like you've probably noticed in your tests and your exams, they don't just ask you to regurgitate that theory. They want to see if you're able to make sense of it. That's the second point. Perspective is super important. The third thing, material content. We don't want to go to the textbook. We don't care what sort of breakfast Adam Smith had. We want you to go through the most material, the most relevant content for your tests and for your exams. And the last thing is what you need to know. So this is the point where we tell you how you use this content in your tests, what are the things that your examiner is looking for, how are the potential ways that your examiner can possibly ask you, and what are the hacks to be able to get around and to be able to figure out all those potential ways your examiner asks you. With these 4 points, you should be ready for your tests, ready for your exams. All right, let's take a look at your balance of payments. First stop, definition. Your balance of payments shows a record of flows into and out of the economy. And the natural question is, what are these flows? We're looking at goods, services, capital, and transfers. Next step, our perspective. When we talk balance of payments, I need you to realize that economies naturally trade with each other. In 2018, we had the whole idea of your trade wars, and we had terms like trade deficits and trade surpluses being thrown around. In order for us to establish these trade deficits and trade surpluses, we need the balance of payments. The balance of payments is tracking what you are buying from abroad and what you are selling abroad. For example, bringing it to you, when you make an online purchase from a store based in the United States, that price is quoted in US dollars. You pay in rands, but the money gets transferred offshore in dollars, as dollars. When you make that payment, when you make that transfer, you get captured into your balance of payments. And at the end of the day, we bring in all of these transactions and we figure out what is the net effect, what is the net flow of your payments. All right. Your balance of payments gets a bit more complicated, and by complicated I mean we categorize these payments. We don't just want to know what was paid out, what was paid in. We want to know what it is that was paid out and what was paid in. We've got 4 categories of this balance of payments. The first one is your current account. Your current account will capture your imports and your exports of goods and services, your transfer payments, and your interest income. Your second account is your financial account. Your financial account will show your investment flows into and out of your local economy. Your third account will show your capital account, okay, and this records your once-off transactions of capital transfers. Lastly, we have your central bank reserves, and this records changes of your foreign assets owned by your central bank. All right, as far as equations go for this section, first up, we'll look at our current account. Your current account is the sum of your net exports. Net exports, that's your exports minus your imports, plus your interest income and your net transfers. Remember all those accounts, all those categories, you put them all together. Current account plus your financial account plus your capital account plus your central bank reserves makes up your balance of payments. Typically, your balance of payments should equal 0. If it doesn't equal 0, then there's some conclusions we can make from there. As far as equations are concerned, this is what you need to know. The fourth stop to our approach, what you need to know. First thing you need to know is how to categorize into debits or credits, examples that you're given. Important to remember, a credit is anything that results in an inflow into the local economy. A debit is an outflow from the local economy. First example, if we have a local citizen who decides to purchase a good or a service, so for example, if they purchase a soccer ball from England, we'd credit the financial account and debit the current account. Second example, if we have a foreign citizen who decides to purchase a soccer ball from the South African economy, we'd credit the current account, debit the financial account. Third example, if we have a financial investment into South Africa, we'd credit the financial account, debit the financial account. Important to remember, for every debit, there's a credit, and if we have a credit, then the debit is the source of the inflow. If we have a debit, the credit is the source of the outflow. The second thing you have to remember is how to categorize examples or scenarios that you're given into your current account, your financial account, all of those balance of payments categories. It's really, really simple. Now remember, your examiner and your lecturer recognizes the fact that you have a textbook which has a whole bunch of examples of things that fall into your current account and your financial account. There's going to be a twist to it, but don't stress at all. As long as it sounds like a good or service, it goes in your current account. As long as it sounds like a financial investment, it goes into your financial account. All you have to establish is it an inflow or an outflow?